morning, or depending on when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always, told out of Voice of Radio. So today we need to have a look at a bunch of new stuff from Shiny Treasures EX. Bearing in mind, of course, that Shiny Treasures EX in Japan, we now know, is going to translate to Paldean Fates over here. That set has been revealed, and I'm going to be honest with you, it's looking really good. I know not everybody is loving these shiny Pokemon, and that is absolutely okay. We all have different opinions, and would I prefer it if it had some of the special illustration rares, character super rares? Maybe, probably, honestly, but that doesn't mean it doesn't look like a very cool set. And let's start off with something very surprising we weren't expecting: Toedscruel EX. We are getting a shiny Toedscruel EX. And the reason this is surprising and very relevant is because full art Toedscruel doesn't exist. Now, for context, let's look at the shiny Charizard in the set and compare it to the full art Charizard from Obsidian Flames. You will notice, of course, they are literally the same card. They've just pressed the Make It Shiny button. This is why a lot of the time in these sets I actually prefer the non-EX shinies, because they are kind of new and different, whereas the EX shinies are just shiny versions of the existing full arts. What is weird about Toedscruel is there is no full art Toedscruel EX. That card doesn't exist. If you want to know the reason, it's really simple. Toedscruel was released as part of an EX special set over in Japan, and that means they only ever printed the regular version. So in Japan, it's a promo. They only made one version. Over here, it goes from being a promo to actually in our set proper, but we still don't get a full art or any other versions of it, because there were no other versions to put in. So this isn't just they've taken the full art and pressed the Make It Shiny button. There is no full art. So that makes it one of the most interesting and honestly sought after shiny EXs for me in the set, because it's completely different to what we've seen before, and it's awesome. As a side note, not the only one we've seen of this. Remember that Iron Treads and Great Tusk are actually brand new cards in the set, never been seen before, and they have shiny versions, which of course are also brand new. There might be full arts in the set. They don't usually tend to do that in these special sets. They might. As it stands at the moment, we've not seen any full arts. We've just got these. It's pretty cool. These three are the first three on my radar because they're not just the full arts made shiny, they are brand new cards. And of course, remember Toedscruel EX is actually like a legit card. It's got the ability Protective Mycelium. It prevents all effective attacks used by your opponent's Pokemon done to all of your Pokemon that have energy attached. And, I mean, look, Roaring Moon is good right now. There are others, incidentally. Basically, this stops automatic KOs, getting rid of energy, and special conditions. They're the main things it stops. And I'm telling you right now, Roaring Moon looks kind of legit. Being able to stop Roaring Moon sounds pretty good, ladies and gentlemen, doesn't it? Sounds pretty good to me. And of course, if we've got this, what about the other EXs from that special set in Japan, your Houndstone and your Pawmot? I'm not telling you we will get them, but I am telling you if one of the three is getting a nice shiny version in this set, there is at least hope for the other two. We'll have to wait and see. As a side note, and maybe I'm reading too much into things, might be, done that occasionally, we've seen Pawmi be revealed. We've not seen a Pawmot. One explanation for that might be that they are not showing us a Pawmot because they didn't want to show us the EX yet, so they just showed us a Pawmi and they're going to show us the EX later. I'm not saying they will, I'm saying there is a chance. Another one that's gone and been revealed this morning, which looks rather lovely. Pidgeot. We're getting a shiny Pidgeot. Now this one, of course, is just the one from Obsidian Flames, and they have pushed the Make It Shiny button. But it's still shiny Pidgeot. It's still very cool. And Pidgeot is another one that is a legitimately good card. It sees a bunch of play in Charizard decks. We basically have Pidgeot Charizard being one of the best decks in the format right now. And this is a cool version of it. Now, as I need to do whenever I look at these, I need to remind you there is a special illustration rare. Now, it's very stylized artwork, and what that generally means is when the cards are really stylized, people tend to either really like them or really not like them. So there are going to be a bunch of people out there who don't like the special illustration rare, who are looking for another fancy version of it. This might be the right version to go for. But of course, you've got that rather ridiculous ability, Quick Search. Just once during your turn lets you search for any card. And it's a nice free retreater on the bench, which isn't a bad thing to have, but mostly it lets you search out any card every turn. Doesn't stack, incidentally, so if you've got multiple Pidgeot EXs, you still only get one quick search per turn, but you still get one quick search per turn. You still get to use, like, the ability that lets you get any card from your deck every single turn. I cannot be the only one that thinks that's good, and I'm not, incidentally, because as I've said, it's a deck that is seeing a lot of play and a lot of success right now. So that's pretty cool. These were revealed this morning, couple new EXs. It's rather nice. But we did get some other rather adorable shiny cards revealed as well, including shiny Jigglypuff. I love shiny Jigglypuff. Shiny Jigglypuff makes me happy. I say that. It's one of those shinies that for colorblind folks like me just doesn't even really look shiny, but hey, maybe some people can appreciate it more than I can. For what it's worth, it is the Jigglypuff that came around in 151. So flip 2 coins, 20 damage for each head, and you get to search for a supporter card, which actually is not terrible. Like, it's not, I'm not saying it's good, just to be clear, but I am saying if you go second, turn 1, it's an option. There are other 70 HP Jigglypuff you can use instead if you prefer. It probably is my favourite Jigglypuff, honestly, whatever that means. But more importantly, we've got Wiggles. We've got a Wigglytuff. Specifically, we've got the one with Balloon Therapy. Lets you attach a therapeutic energy from your hand to one of your Pokemon once per turn, which, not for nothing, is a really nice ability. We like this ability very much indeed. It gets an extra energy on the field, and it's quite nice. But of course, the best use for this is with Wiggles EX, and we've got that as well. We've got a shiny Wigglytuff EX. Wigglytuff again, not really one. I know the eyes are different colours, alright? I get the eyes are different colours, but not one of my favourite shinies. Like Toedscruel, that's a shiny. These ones, bit less so, I think it's fair to say. But Wigglytuff EX is one that I've been a big fan of since we first saw it. I've been championing it a little bit on this channel, as I'm sure you've heard, because the ability says if you got any special energy attached, you get an extra 100 HP, that's 350. But of course, you're going to use your single prizer to put a therapeutic energy on, and then for free energy, you do 180. But if you play the supporter card from your hand this turn, of course. And a lot of the time, I'll be honest with you, you're probably going to want to use double turbo, so it actually goes down to 160. But you can get all free energy on in one turn pretty easily, and then you're hitting for 160, and you've got 350 HP. That's pretty good. Like, all things considered, that's a bulky Pokemon doing a decent amount of damage. I kind of like this, if I'm honest with you. This seems pretty gosh darn cool. So we got the whole trio there. We got the Jigglypuff. We've got the single prize Wigglytuff. We got the EX Wigglytuff. Things are good. But then we've actually got a brand new card as well. And I have chat with the lovely Antoine Boulet. But as we've seen, you know what? I did this myself, translation-wise. We've got a new Cyclizar. And we do love a good new Cyclizar. Cyclizar is pretty gosh darn good. Lovely Ghidorah artwork, incidentally, which is worth pointing out because it looks adorable. And we got 120 HP Dragon Pokemon, which means no weakness, which is kind of awesome. And also, you may notice, we've not had a Dragon Cyclizar yet. We've had a bunch of Cyclizar. In terms of actual unique Cyclizar, we have had four different unique Cyclizar, a couple of reprints, and as it stands at the moment, they've all been colourless. Now we've got our first Dragon Cyclizar, and it's free energy, 100 damage, flip a coin, if heads during your opponent's next turn, prevent all damage from and effects of attacks done to this Pokemon. And look, immunity for a turn, great. Really great. damage decent, but that free energy combination on a 120 HP basic is not really going to work. That makes it a lot less good. However, there's another card I got very excited about initially, only to find out it was nowhere near as good as we were expecting, and that made me very sad. And that was Regidrago V-Star. Because Regidrago V-Star's got an attack for 2 grass and 1 fire energy that lets you copy the attack of any dragon Pokemon in your discard pile. And we know the rule when it comes to this stuff by now, right? If it says you have to have the correct energy, then you do. But if it doesn't say you have to have the correct energy, then just the regular energy cost will do. And that's the case here. So if you're already playing a Regidrago deck, then it doesn't matter about the cost of this attack on Cyclizar, because you're just using it for 2 grass and a fire on Regidrago, and now all of a sudden, I actually really like this. This makes it very, very nice indeed. Sure, you've got to flip a coin to get the immunity, I understand it, but can you imagine, and it's, to be clear, it is prevent all damage from and effects of any attacks done to this Pokemon. Doesn't matter what your opponent does. So, you know, let's say for argument's sake, you're down to 1 Pokemon. This is your last Pokemon. If you flip heads, you cannot lose the game. You literally can't lose the game if you flip heads. I suppose you can deck out, but you know what I mean? I love this. And look, you're not going to flip heads all the time anyway, but I love it as an occasional thing. I love it as a desperation play, and certainly if you're playing Regidrago, there are going to be circumstances where this is good. And also, like I've said, if your opponent can't gust around or you don't have any bench Pokemon, if you just keep flipping heads, you literally cannot lose the game, which is quite hilarious. Oh yeah, score for that one because it's a new card. I'm giving it between 3 and 4 Wassies. I really kind of like it. The attack cost is awkward, though Regidrago doesn't really mind, and it is on a coin flip, but it's a really powerful attack if you flip heads. So there we go. That's what you need to know. And now it's over to you guys. Tell me what you think about these new cards. Tell me which shinies you're looking forward to. Tell me what you think about Paldean Fates. Tell me anything you want to tell me in the comment section. Go nuts! Be nice. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at The Wassie. That's where we talk about Pokemon and card games and Pokemon card games, all kinds of fun things. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCG where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts, join a Discord, and all kinds of fun things. And get shout-outs on the channel like the lovely Matt DS, who's been a supporter of ours for a while now and is a very lovely person. So shout out to them for the support and the loveliness. But by far the most important thing as always, look after yourself till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.